Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I'm gonna ask you kind of pointed. Spoke to I spoke to SK earlier
Right.
about some of the stuff. I wanted to attend. Did the thing happen already?
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
together? Shit.
Mm.
Like, I'm gonna be rather transparent with you. We got pulled into some fucking internal PD drama bullshit.
Mm.
Here's I'm gonna shoot rather straight with you.
Okay.
I do not like one bit that the police department is coming down, taunting and putting their lives on the line in order to get into a fucking shootouts, bring their fucking guys through, and then throw you in like a bag of money that goes into the budget. It's fucking words that I'm not going to use right now. And sitting where I am, right, I see it as a matter of a handful of cops that are going to end up resulting in Hell Week, which isn't good for anybody. Because as I told SK, it's going to turn into just gangs are shooting because they want to instead of resolving the bigger problem. So I would, SK spoke with Daisy. Regardless of what happens, I think those perspectives need to be heard by PETAs so that at least before this all happens, they can know why. Is that something that can be arranged?
I mean, I'm always like I'm never gonna turn down, just having a plain conversation.
Yeah.
But the problem is that how many conversations does it take to
the problem
to fix something?
The problem is that well, I'll tell you this: that PETAs and Daisy, who are both at the top of the LSPD, whose jurisdiction this is, have no idea about this, right? And no other individual has the authority.
What? Sorry.
Well, I've heard
no
a
idea
series.
about no idea about like their officers constantly antagonizing people, going to their homes and doing all kinds of bullshit.
Correct.
I doubt that. Come on.
I can tell you, I'll put my fucking word on the line. So I can tell you because after I heard about what was going on with Cyprus, I just started hearing about it after seeing all the twats going out. I spoke to some of those guys. SK approached me yesterday, and I was dumbfounded. I'm also very familiar with the marshal's office effectively protecting all this from occurring. And from my end of it, I'm already taking legislative action, but I also... Look, I put Daisy into place because I know she can at least understand things beyond a fucking lobby or whatever the fuck these guys think of this things as, right? And when I brought this up to them, I can tell you that they did not know. I think it's getting truncated. I think what's happening is that these people that are baiting these things are truncating that information from going up. So, I guess the question...
It just happens so frequently, I don't know. Then
I didn't even know about it.
It begs to question, like, whether or not, like, the whole way that PD communicates even works in the first place.
There is none. Because it's fucking internal drama. Because most of these fuckers that are coming down here don't even reside in Los Santos. It's coming from fucking Blaine County and one or two fucking LSPD offices. It's a fucking cultural issue. These guys are fucking brain dead. They, and I've seen it myself, right? They look at fucking gangbangers as like they're never gonna change. I want them to shoot me. I want that money, and that's not lost on me. The problem is closing that communication gap. Listen, if I had it my way, I would fucking ban the entire Blaine County from coming down here so that these things can be resolved. Because I'm not looking to like this is just fucking disgusting what's occurring.
Well, so this is kind of a two-parter though for me. Because to be honest, if I'm gonna be as honest as I possibly can, I was talking about this yesterday. I have more issues with LSPD than I do with Blaine County.
Yeah. So break it down for me. And I think these are the things. Actually, I think you need to tell this to PETAs.
Well, to me, well, first of all, I don't know. Like, I don't get involved in the politicking. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I barely read legislation. Like, it's not my world. You know what I mean? I
Are
should
you
probably make it part of my world, but it's
are
not.
you familiar with the fines and times things that just happened?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm familiar with that
Okay.
aspect of it, which is a whole different issue. But
Mm.
um, yeah, I don't know. For me, LSPD seems to have a track record of antagonizing me more, willing to try to overstep several times.
Yeah.
If I see like cars, they're just like usually circling my block with no reason because nobody's selling weed or doing anything like that. It is
Mm.
most likely an LSPD car. Um, that's who I have the main problem with. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of BCSO officers actually come to me with a, a reasonable attitude because I'm not the guy that's
Wasn't
gonna
it
be mad that
Vittora?
you
I was told that it was Vittora that was baiting you guys yesterday.
baiting us.
Yeah. While you're in the
I don't.
cells?
No, I mean, me and Ventura have like kind of we have a back and forth relationship where it's just
Man,
more
we need to
about
be
like
at the
trolling each
meeting.
other than
They
anything.
all got
But
different perspectives.
um, when it comes to like,
Mm.
I don't know. I think like a lot of people misconstrue what we're really about. We don't like we understand that eventually people have to do their job. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
get 1,000 fucking calls for weed sales or whatever the fuck. I understand that you have to come down there with a whole team and try to do something about it. I get that. My problem is the one guy
Yeah.
that comes down, talks a little bit of shit, and then leaves and then comes back with like two more units and then he
Yeah.
leaves again and then I'm in a stolen car driving outside my block and I'm getting pulled over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the guy I have an issue about.
So
It's
so
the
I
guy that doesn't understand that we protect our
mm.
homes and that if you're just walking
Are you talking
about
about
trying
Vic?
to fucking find some what?
Oh, you don't know him. So I can tell you right now, Saint, that speaking to SK and speaking to you, it sounds like different issues. Common issues, but different issues. So transparently, he's got an issue with Vic. I don't even fucking know. Ventura? Yeah, Ventura.
Ventura.
Whereas you've got an issue with an LSPD officer that. Do you know what their name is? Or like in general?
No, just LSPD officers in general.
Yeah.
I think like for me, I mean,
think
if
you
I'm gonna
really
be
got
as
to tell.
honest,
I want to
I'm
hear
talking to
this.
the mayor, so I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
like the kind of abbreviated version of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the reality is, I don't want any cops around my shit at any point, right? That's not gonna make me happy, and which is I think fair on my end.
Oh, 100%.
But at the same time, I'm not stupid. I understand people have jobs. You know what I mean? I understand. My thing is, I don't
Okay.
understand how you're willing to put your life at risk over catching somebody, selling 2 baggies of fucking weed.
Agreed. And that's why you got to talk to Peters. And I think the way, and this is why it sucks because I was going to be at this meeting, is I want to hear all this, but I got dragged in this bullshit. Because I need to understand, here's where I'm coming from, right? My last thing
Right.
I want is blood to hit the streets, right? Otherwise, I'm not doing my job. Whether that is, and the grander picture to this is, our cops coming down and creating violence, right? Over fucking weed.
Yeah. 100%.
In the same light, I also have to dissect because I'm like sort of in the middle here, right? I'm going to hear one thing from one crew and a different crew and a different crew. I'm going to hear other things, brother, like fucking the cops have like 5 different stories themselves. And so where I've kind of landed with all this is the best I can do, I think the thing is to ensure the message has been delivered before any action takes place. Because at least at that point, all parties individually have an opportunity to make a constructive decision. You know what I mean by that? So if a decision, conversation happens, it gets to clapping on either side, then it is what it is. I've at least done my job. So, you know.
I mean,
But
I'm never gonna turn down a conversation, like I
yeah,
said, but
no,
it's
I know.
just, you know, I'm getting to a point where every, every group in the South Side feels the same way about
Mm.
just, if not that we all at least like have the same issues, that at least a lot of times we feel like cops are the ones looking to get shot. I'm not gonna lie, like
Can I
they're
ask a question?
putting their lives at risk over words.
Yeah. Do you feel like the one of the only last beacons of your ability to make money is? Do you feel? I'm just gonna say it like how I think it.
Hmm.
Do you feel like these guys are getting fucking bored and like just finding a reason to make shit pop off?
Well, I think at this point, after all these months, I think they very much understand what will happen when they go 6 to 7 cars deep into a
Mm,
block.
yeah.
Um, it seems like the lesson has still yet to be learned, though, because
How do they learn the lesson when they make money when you shoot their cops and then they put you in jail? You know what I
well,
mean?
there
Because they
there
get
is
rewarded from it.
yeah, 100%. You would think that them just simply getting shot and seeing
No.
their friends go to ICU would do something, but
I sat in a funeral that took 4 months for bodies to get buried, and um they didn't give a fuck about that. So
yeah.
I've been witness to the Cypress tweets and the notion of like that's not wrong because you are suiciding your own officers. So if that notion is not like inherently understood or even seen as being not only morally wrong but borderline illegal, right? Because they're putting other officers' lives on the line, then how do you even get to the point of like, hey man, we're doing this as getting a shot, and not being like, yo, we're waking up at the hospital with, $500,000 now in our budget increased. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like you're working with something that's brain dead. You good?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I mean that's my major concern is just like,
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
there is a lesson to be taught, but it seems like the learning phase is just not getting
It's not
through.
present. Yeah. There is
Yeah.
no like how do I put it? Because brother, I hate having like forgive me for using some of the vocabulary because it's just like
No, go ahead.
I don't know how else
I
you
don't
say
care.
it. They don't lose anything for doing what they're doing. So why would they? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like it
no, no,
sucks
but
that it's gotten down to this. I don't know how else. I'm like
yeah,
finding
no.
ways to say this, but it's kind of what it is. Is
Well, here's
they
the
only
problem.
have something to gain from going down there and saying, you know what? We know this is going to be a shootout, but either way, we come out on top. Otherwise, hop out of the hospital in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, the very simple way of putting it too is that realistically, a lot of the officers that come down talk some shit, whatever the fuck. I
Yeah.
mean, one time I had fuck, who's the crane guy, BCSO, right? I
Yeah.
think. And he was like, I don't know, he was talking about having shot me, and he was basically gloating to the rest of my gang members about having shot me on my block.
Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah,
This is why you got to talk to Peters because I am
no, but it
telling
was
you
cooked. It
that
was
these
cooked.
guys should not. Please talk to Peters. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
will. I will.
let me.
I will.
What I imagine Miguel's crew's involved. SK already started talking to him, but I at least want to facilitate that there's an understanding of why things are happening. Because in my mind, even from the attorney angle, is that it seems kind of dog shit if people are rolling 6 blocks. Like, where's your investigation? Like, why is everything got to happen? Like, there's a call here, let's turn it into a shootout. Like, where is the
Yeah.
enjoyment in this?
Well, there's
I
that,
just
and I think there's this never-ending cycle, right? Which is that guy does that, right? He goes
yeah,
down, he talks shit, whatever the fuck,
yeah.
right? the people who can do something about it, because it's not criminal technically for him to do that, right? So the people who can do something about it won't, because that's one of their best friends. Why the fuck would they do something about that? You know what I mean? At
Yep.
most, he's gonna get a slap on the
That,
wrist.
and I'm witnessing that
And
in real time, by the
and
way.
if it is criminal, then
Yeah.
guess what? The marshals, for some reason, were also there with the
Yep.
revolvers drawn. So
Yup.
they're not gonna fucking do shit
Yup.
about it either.
You bring it up to the judge. Wait, they're a marshal. They
Oh, guess what? It's
Yeah.
Angel, and she fucking oversees the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Why do you think all my powers were removed? They feared that I was Chenging. That, like, genuinely. I'm not even kidding. I'm not. I wish it was a joke. They said it to my face, like, before I even ran. Because I went in the cells and defended people, that I'm a criminal. Now, I have not actually committed a single felony. Which might be hard to believe, but yeah. So even if I wanted to, I mean, I want to put something into perspective. Is that when the fine and time thing happened,
Right.
Peter's is the one. Peter's the guy I want you to talk to. I don't know who it was. I thought it was Dundee, because apparently this has been happening a lot. Some group was facing 800, 900 months each, and they were like, wait, what the fuck? Peter said, we can't do that. He then contemplated bringing it down to 200, and they settled on 500. And they were going to make it a standard so that people aren't going away forever. This is something that's been happening. High Command's been able to do it for God knows how long. The marshals heard this. Angel came down and fucking crashed out on him. I was witness there. It was right after the meeting in front of all the cops. Then, when Miguel heard about it and put it on Twitter, she backtracked and said, oh, we're coming in to fix this hole and writing legislation. Bullshit. You got caught out, and now the public knew. And then she tried to blame it on me and Andy, saying we control the sliders for the fine and time, which, mind you, I was told it doesn't work or shouldn't be touching it. I then asked for clarity on all this after hearing a bunch of bullshit, right? With no, like, you know when you're talking about legal shit and they're not giving you, like, legal reasoning and they're just yapping? That's what that I had to deal with. I then asked 4 times, can I bring it down? She said, yes, I'll take the hit if anything happens. I reduced the fine to 50%. Everyone is excited. She calls me back up because Blaine County called her and said, we're not going to make any money if they do this. And she suggested strongly I put it back. I asked why. Well, cops are now worth 1 across. And I'm like, that's not why it went down. All of it went down. Give these guys a bone after you just fucked them in the ass. This is my slider.
Right.
I then get another phone call after finding out. So I then find out that she retroactively went back and changed the fines in the back end. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that? Like, so like a revolver was 50,000 at 125% fine. I bring it down to 50%. It's now, 20,000 for a revolver possession. She went in and altered it so it went back to 50%. But went back to 50,000. I then call and ask about this. Well, I control all this. Well, then why are you saying one thing on Twitter, blaming us, and then getting us in the mix and, like, you know what I mean? She then ordered me to move the sliders back. Now there's a bunch of charges that are higher than they were before. I was forced by the marshal director to change something that I was told was in my purview. So if you wonder, and the reason I give you all this context is I only got so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I appreciate
at the end of the day,
context.
my role comes down to being an ambassador.
Right.
So,
I don't know.
yeah.
I think a lot of people, especially people who are in the kind of line of work that I do, are kind of just fed up that we feel like on a daily basis, hour by hour, things just get more difficult for us.
Yeah.
And nothing seems to get easier.
Yeah.
Which is, I understand I signed up for something that is not easy and whatever the fuck. And I'm fully aware of the consequences of, my actions. But I feel like there's not much working for us nowadays. Like it genuinely feels like cops don't give a shit. They roll down, they talk their shit, they get blasted down. 5 minutes later, they're talking shit on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh,
What am I supposed to do about that? You know what I mean?
It's sending you a very
if I get
dangerous
shot
message.
down, if I get shot down, I'm in prison for 400 months. I lost out on 100K, which will take me like a week to recover.
Yeah.
The car that I paid $1.2 million for, well, now it's gonna get seized by the government, and on top of that, all my properties are getting raided.
Man, I wonder if I could. You know, what'd be crazy. Unfortunately, I can't. I don't control the hospital. Man, if only I'd control the hospital. You know what I would do? Like in this moment, I'd probably make it cost them like $25,000 in like medical fees. You know what I'm saying? See, that's. You know what? You know how it used to work. I used to actually have the fines and times used to. The money for arrests used to go into the county budget. Now it goes directly into the police department. So it's just, and that's where they buy their interceptors and shit. And unfortunately, it kind of feels like, you know how like people grind out like V6, like, yo, we got to go do this, got to get money for the crypto or whatever.
Right.
It's unfortunately now it's kind of like, yo, we need some money for an interceptor. Let's go like get shot up down in the south side and get the 78s. You know, like, yo, we get into 3 more shootouts, we're good.
Oh, that's what it is.
It's so fucked.
That's what it is.
But,
I mean,
but it would make sense
but
if
it's
people
so sad.
cared about getting shot.
It's
You know
so
what I mean?
sad, you know, because you have to think about the fact that like those motherfuckers do that.
Do some Crim 6 runs, you know?
Bro. Oh my god. Yeah.
It's so bad because, like, how else do you talk about it like we are right now?
Yeah, I don't know. There's just no other way of like addressing the pure simple fact that
Come talk to Peters. He's with me. He's across the street. He's not listening to this call, but I think it starts by talking to him.
Okay. I'll talk to him.
And he might not agree with everything, but he's got to hear what's happening because at least I've done my job and he's heard it out on the other end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they do run the TRT unit. So,
Okay.
all right. Can we go to the Pegasus hangar down at LSI?
Pegasus hangar.
I can ping you. What's your number?
Yeah. 97.
97. All right. Give me a couple minutes.
All right. Sounds
All right.
good.
See you in a bit. Bye. All right. So, lot to unwrap whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Sorry, fucking people just came up.